Welcome to the final entry in this year's Toycember 2025, and it is going to be the final look at the Playmates Megazord, now in the full Megazord form, or at least it will be. This one might be a little bit rough because I have no idea how I'm going to frame this thing, but we will give it our best shot. So to start with, we look at the finished tank mode, and this one is interesting. So the tank mode's always been fun. Like, I like the tank mode. I think it serves a purpose. Like, granted, in the show, can you not just look? I'm trying to make you look presentable. I'm trying to make it look like they did a decent job here, son. Can you not? Okay, the Mastodon's going to be difficult with me. Okay, so I like the tank mode as it is something else for the toy. How far are you going to go, sir? Okay, thank you. I like the whole tank mode just because it gives you some aspect of like Transformer-ishness to the overall robot the original Megazord is. It's a vehicle mode, of course. It's a goofy vehicle mode where a bunch of dinosaur heads are coming after you with these gigantic cannons, but it's fun nonetheless. This one does a decent job replicating it outside of, as we have seen, the Mastodon head, if not plugged in correctly, it's going to give you problems. But beyond that, it's mostly fine, comparable to the original, with a couple of caveats. Okay, so for starters, the pterodactyl actually holds on a little bit better than the old one did. Like most Megazords I get, that thing flops off immediately. I'm not happy with the completely vertical angle of it, though. Like, that's a little bit odd. What I don't like is how these do not close up all the way. So it just looks like you had these wind pockets on the side of the tank turret. It's a little bit odd, but beyond that, okay, it's fine. It is what it is. I'm not going to harp too much on it because, it's just the tank mode. I know people who don't even like this one because it really doesn't do much ever. But it's a fun thing for the toys to still be capable of doing, though this does come with one major warning. As we have said during the videos, there are no wheels on the underside of said tank mode on any of its components, meaning you're not really going to be able to roll this thing around on the ground. It is going to scrape everything if you try. It's mostly here just to say it can do it, which is a little bit disappointing. But that said, let's go into the real deal. Let's get into the part that everyone actually wants to see. We need Megazord power, and I need content, so that's more important than Megazord power. Let's go into the full transformation sequence now, shall we? So, as you know by now, they've got a power and a force like millions of you have seen before, and potentially have owned millions of copies of this. So, there's nothing real new to report about how the Megazord functions and how it transforms, other than there's a few, additions. Like how loud that ratchet is, which is a lot nicer than the original, which is kind of smooth. It doesn't have that many points to it. Okay, I'm going to flip up the tail to the back. Yes, I'm going to angle all of this up. Everything's stuck. This is a tight hinge. Very tight swivel to get all of that up into its correct position. So I got stuck filming this on New Year's Eve, which means there's a lot of explosions going off in the background, which I don't know how that sounds. I also don't know how loud the ratchets are for you. I apologize if it is too loud in the recording. So, pretty standard. Yeah, nothing unique or unusual here. Go ahead and put that down. Come on, close up. There we go. These pterodactyl, I need to make sure the head folds in, of course. In you go. Which wing goes first, I don't think matters. I think they just fold up flat no matter what. And then, there is your Megazord head. I guess I should do that properly, you know, because this is how you remember going. There you go. Except with less dust on the head. All right, let me reframe, and then we can talk about this thing. There we go, much better. And thankfully, I built the review stage to handle beasts like this. I think this is the biggest toy we've ever talked about on the new review stage. This is going to be fun to keep in focus. Please bear with me. So, the original Megazord, I will go ahead and tell you, nowhere near this big. Let us bring in the classic. And just, yeah, you can see this thing towers over it. This has like 3 or 4 inches on the original Megazord. And fairly bulkier, I would say, too. Like, it keeps the width of the chest, but the arms do feel a little bit bulkier on the new ones. So give it credit, like, it's got size. And I think that alone is where you'll find the most appeal with this set of Zords. In your adult hands, if you grew up with Power Rangers, in your adult hands, this thing is actually going to feel like it did when you were a kid. This has that size that your brain subconsciously remembers. So in that, it's oddly nostalgic as I bump the tripod, because this is a very, very awkward thing to film. Something else I forgot. I know someone's going to ask for this comparison. Give me 1 second. Hey, so for anyone who was wondering how big it was compared to the Voltron that Playmates did, the Voltron towers over that. So just in case you thought they were going for Voltron scale with the new size, no. They just felt like making it big because that's kind of what they do. So let me bring this in so we can get up close details on here. So obviously, a lot of changes here, mostly for simplification of design and deco. So obviously you're dealing with a little bit less paint in the head, but still looks nice enough. Chest, I wish had a little bit more paint to define those different wedges. That would have looked a little bit nicer. You have screen accurate stickers all over, which is nice. That's an upgrade from the original. I kind of wish those screw holes weren't there. They're not on the back side, which makes me think they assembled the arms backwards. That would have been nice if they had moved those to the back. You know, that would have looked a little bit better. They're prioritizing the beast mode in that. I'm not sure why. But yeah, the overall look is correct, and it overall looks nice until you get down there. It definitely strikes weird when you look at those legs, and they just do not, like the gray bit that's supposed to go all the way down to the foot just doesn't. And that's a little bit unfortunate. So, like, it's huge. What can I say? It gets enough details right to feel like the Megazord without feeling like a knockoff. So if we want to go into function compared to the original toy, let's see, we do have the arms that can move up and down. Fun thing, Playmates mixed up some of their press photos when you look up this. So every now and then you might see it with elbows. It does not have elbows. It does have a little bit of outward shoulders. So you have some added articulation compared to the original, but it's not all that much. Most of what you get in new articulation is in the hips, because you can splay them out just a little bit and also rotate them forward and back. And then you do have a knee bend. Now the knee, as opposed to all of the other ratchet joints you have heard during this video, the knee is actually pretty soft. So it's something that I would do for like a quick little display there, a quick little photo, or if I was a kid playing with it and I wanted the knee to bend for a pose, I would do that, but I wouldn't actually leave it that way. It would not be stable for very long. And then, of course, yes, you can rotate these guys so that with the legs splayed, yeah, they stand flat-footed. That gives it a little bit more of an impressive look. So kudos to that, at least. At least can hit a more natural stance than the old one. On the back side, well, for one, I need to put the guns on. And these stick out enormously. They're way bigger than the old guns. So now they're just this gigantic backpack on him. Also, the tip of the tail does not transform in any way, shape, or form. So unlike the original, it doesn't flush or tuck away or anything like that. It just kind of sticks up behind the head, and I hate when the Megazords do that because it looks super weird. Beyond that, all you can really do is give him the accessories we looked at in the previous videos. You have the Mastodon shield, which, yeah, we can hold as a shield, though the hinge is a little bit loose, so some positions it might be a little bit floppy. And then there is the power sword, which we can attach. I do like that they added the gold. It gives it a little bit more distinction. I do not like that it's a softer temper of plastic, so it has a natural bend to it right out of the box. That's a disappointment. But in this mode, you can still flip up the tails, so you can still fire the missiles if you want, so there's that. And, of course, you've got the guns on the back that can still fire the missiles. I don't believe they can actually go in hand, though. The pegs are a little bit too thick. So you cannot hand wield the blasters. But that, my friends, is the Playmates Megazord in its entirety, of course, across the last close to a week now. It's an experience. If you want that nostalgic feel of like playing with the original Megazord, it's spot on. Because it does everything the original one did, but it has that feel that you remember from childhood. If you are looking for a high quality Megazord, or something that's going to be like spot on screen accurate, well, you've got better options ahead of you. If you don't need the size, I might recommend the little one that Hasbro made. That one actually has elbows. But that said, thank you very much for joining me for this little segment, and thank you very much for joining me for all of Toycember. I know it was a rough one. Did not mean to make it that way, but I appreciate everyone sticking through it, and I'm glad everyone seemed to enjoy the videos this year. I will see you again. We will do this again next year, maybe a little bit more prepared, a little bit more organized, but I'm looking forward to doing it for you one more time, so I will see you then.
Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.